I go for a ride and realize I've never shot a video of my 91 FZR. Bought this thing on Craigslist like 7-8 years ago for 900 bucks. It's kind of a mess, but it's like the most reliable bike I own. I bought it with an extra set of wheels. I've got those wheels on now. It's got a new set of Shinko podiums on it. I've never been down on this bike. My buddy's been down on this bike. That's why we've got a different crankcase, or not crankcase, but the starter cover there. That's actually been broken twice by the same guy, because the following year he ran it over with his mom's car when he was backing up. So that's a consumable part on this bike. What have I done? New wheel bearings in the wheels, so the new tires. Has R6 brakes up front because I was going to replace or rebuild the calipers on the original. It was actually cheaper just to buy a whole assembly of an R6, so they're better brakes. I think I kept the master cylinder from the original though. What else has happened on this thing? Fighting the electrical was fun. A tachometer didn't work. I put another one on, so I'm not actually sure how many miles this bike has on it. I would estimate around 30,000. Put an LED light up front. I do have the full fairings for it. I just never put them on because I mess with this thing so often that I don't want to be taking it on and off. Maybe one of these times when I stop unbuttoning it, I'll put it back on. New fork seals in it. That's something I took care of. All the cracks and everything. This is from taking spills. Taking spills. I did sort of crash it once when I wasn't around it. I left it up on the jack and forgot to put the safety lock on the hydraulic jack. I was upstairs and I just heard a giant crash, so that was probably it. Put big old YZF mirrors on it. I like being able to see everything. Rear brake's the same. I just went through and cleaned everything up on that. Aside of that, not too much else has been done on it. New chain, sprockets, and that's about it. I love the sound of this. So it's got a Vance & Hines exhaust on it. I love Vance & Hines exhausts. It's sport bike's not really my thing, but I enjoy owning this one, and every time I try to bring myself to get rid of it, I can't convince myself it's worth it to get rid of it, because it's not worth any money, but it makes me smile. When I got it, I mean, I pulled rocks. I pulled a bunch of rocks out during the first oil change. I bought it from a kid who had worked down in his shop class. Apparently he made some enemies at the time, so I did warm it up because I hadn't run it in a while. I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get started. I should probably get these mirrors back. All right, let's see. so that is the little FZR. That's a real boring ride around on the FZR. Not too much to see on that ride, but I just felt like getting up to freeway speeds and doing that loop is the easiest. A couple things I don't like about the bike. I put these stubby little clutch and brake levers on it, and I got tiny hands, and that doesn't make it easy for me at all. It does sound like the cush bearing in the rear wheel. I mean, it's kind of jerky at times, like real low speed, like when you're idling around. Just like 4 miles an hour or whatnot. I don't know if that actually has anything to do with the cush bearing or not. In my head it does, so that might be something worth looking into. Outside of that, I mean, that's not the fastest bike, and it's really fun though. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm going to keep it for a while. The carburetor, this is something I'm going to go through it like I did with the Bandit. Carburetor really doesn't need any help. I mean, it's great. It's working great. The problem is I need to get to the intake boots on it. I can see that they're actively cracked, and that's just a ticking time bomb. I got a whole set of 4 of them ready to go. I'll just wait till winter to do that. I don't feel like breaking out the thing right now to do it, and I don't know. Besides that, I think this thing's ready to go for quite a few more miles. Maybe I'll get rambunctious and try to do a valve adjustment, but I have a feeling that's already been done by that kid in the shop class. Wouldn't hurt to know how to do it though. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting bike. 1991. This is I think the FZR600 Genesis. It's got that Delta box frame, which is a new type of frame where they can get the engine. I mean, this is how all the inlines look like. Or a lot of the inlines look like now, but this was new in 1989. I think this bike came out. And the 89 and the 90 are slightly different than the 91s. I know that because the shop manual shows different stuff, but the engine is actually sunk a little bit lower in that Delta box and leaned forward. It allowed Yamaha to get the engine further down inside of it, tilted forward to get more weight down and over the wheels. So yeah, anyway, thanks for riding along, and that's my FZR.